his army, and like he has 4 Zerglings to distract Polt.
But Kevin, that would take like a, I fully agree with you, but Polt's gonna have to have a weird existential like adjustment. He's gonna have to have a little like a philosophical adjustment to how he approaches the game, because he's always in the middle of the map. And what I remember from that day and age where Violet, I keep doing this where I'm trying to remember these old maps. What's the map with the tower in the middle and the 2 gold bases?
The tower in the middle. And
Remember that? The old Antigua Shipyard. I did it. Thank you. I'm not completely seen out just yet. Violet made this style really popular back then. He would make 12, 15 Mutalisks, and then hundreds of Zerglings and Banelings.
Yeah.
And the reason it went away is what Terrans would do is they would scan and scout ahead and be like, oh, okay, go back home, Sim City up, sit on 3 or 4 bases, and let that just wash up against your defenses.
Have a couple of tanks as well. Like tanks is really what shut that down.
Yes, if Polt would have done that, scouted ahead and pulled back, he's in great position. Amazing position.
However, map number 3 is going to be played on Altazim Stronghold. Also not a map that's very well known for being very Terran favored. This is the largest map in the map pool, like we stated earlier today, and it can be very hard for Terran to actually start moving out and not be counterattacked all the time, not having to run around, and above all, not be swarmed by Zerg units.
All right, guys, let's get into this game. In the top right-hand corner, needing your support from Team CM Storm, it is Polt. And his opponent, chasing fame, looking for a big win at the finals of a tournament. It is Evil Genius's Jaedong. Little bit of luck here, Kevin.
Yep.
This could have been worse, right? It could be top left versus bottom right. Polt still gets, he could have got a better spawn with his natural having its backside facing the Zerg player. That can be a big nuisance if we get to the Mutalisk stage, but at least it's not cross map. This is okay for Polt.
I completely agree. I couldn't have said it any better. Horizontal is definitely still playable. As you can see, the rush distance, yes, it's still there. I mean, it's by no means a small map.
Right.
But if it is cross map, then it's so hard for a Terran to actually move across the map the majority of the time. You know, by the time you move out, you give the Zerg so much time to get ready. They have to scan like 44 times to make sure that there are no burrowed banelings.
Yeah, almost literally, man.
It's like scan, all right, walk, we can go. It's like you're playing Metal Gear Solid over there or something. You know, you have to be so careful.
If they had cardboard boxes to be under, they would.
Either way, Jaedong is going to drop his hatch over here on the low ground. I like that. It's going to provide him with a little better crease spread. It's not too crazy. More and more Zergs start doing this. They do this against Protoss, and I kind of like that they start doing it against Terran as well.
And both these players break in the mold, by the way. You know, we give Polt kind of a lot of crap for playing just about the same way every single time, but this is game number 3, and we've seen small differences in his build every single time, and this time, obviously, a gigantic difference.
It probably has a lot to do with the map pool changing so much as well, because in the old days, you know, one map had snow, the other map had the beautiful sun, and the other map was purple, but at the end of the day, if you had one good build, you could probably get away with it on every single map. And with these maps just being so distinctive, being so unique, being so different from each other, it's impossible to find one build that you can always do.
Absolutely, I agree fully. Jaedong's Overlord is doing the quote-unquote correct scout. It's going to head towards this ramp. It fully anticipates things like Reapers, so it's not worried about being Overlord hunted by Marines. And Jaedong, being the player that he is, he'll see the timing of this barracks and probably immediately know that he's facing a CC first. Do you think, I mean, where do you put this on your prediction list? Do you think Jaedong looks at that and says, oh gosh, Ling Banling bust or quick Roach, or does he just play it out?
No, not at all. I don't think that Jaedong is surprised at all to see Command Center first, and 100%, he didn't even see the Rex. Jaedong is like, supply depot, I know enough.
Okay, I like this actually. So to your point, you know, if he doesn't know enough, he's about to. He's gonna pull up here and scout that as well, but he did not give up his position. And we can see Polt's just not scouting at all. So again, not the biggest of deals, and Polt's not looking to do anything with that information necessarily at this stage, but it's nice.
For a second, Polt could have seen that Overlord there, but Jaedong now definitely knows that it's Command Center first. These guys, they definitely know the difference between a Command Center being ready or a Command Center being ready 40 seconds later. He's still opening up with gas, and he goes back to mining gas. That's pretty early.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, I feel like the answer should have been cheese balls something, because I feel like that is what is coming. Now, this Overlord is getting shot down by 2 Marines. I think it should just get outside.
I think what Jaedong maybe is going to try to do is that he knows when he's going to try to see when the factory lifts up, and then maybe run in with a few links. He only has 6, so it's probably not going to be that massive.
He shows up. He's at least showing his hand. I liked your idea, and I've seen him try to do that before. But with only 6 lings, probably not worth the gambit. Behind this is another CC. I'll tell you what, that gas being mine right now has me nervous for Polt. I'm not going to lie. Additional queens are coming out. He is still droning, so it's not, you know, some kind of suicidal, crazy all-in, but I could see it. Yep, Baneling Nest, there it is. Wow, 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 wow.
Okay, so now it's going to all come down to Jaedong having to try to hide this as long as possible and waiting for the right moment until 2 Hellions or 4 Hellions are out on the map. We have that 3rd command center as a follow-up as well for Polt. Did Jaedong scout it already? You know, he didn't see that yet, but he might be expecting it because it's a very popular build. So Jaedong is indeed going to do something crazy, but he's going to time it out really well. There's no way he's just going to make a bunch of Zerglings and then try to bust down the ramp. With Hellions in the main, he is definitely going to wait and see when is my moment. He's going to lurk around like a cheetah.
The Hellions are hanging back. It is a reactor on the barracks, so again, another slight difference here. In the past, we've seen Tech Lab and then Marauders coming out. But with that 2nd reactor, I wonder if it's going to be Marines or even another factory. That's something that we could see on this open map. But going up to 6 Hellions, 4 just now leaving the base. Jaedong has a lot of Banelings morphing just south of the base. Polt's going to check around for it. Polt, do you have the star sense? He finds the Banelings. This is a very important moment in time. He catches the mid-map, and they're separated from the Zerglings that would otherwise come to defend them.
All he has to do, though, is just like, I mean, he can try to shoot them down. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. But if he loses the Hellions, he's in a lot of trouble. He's researching Blue Flame as well. I think he should have just gone home immediately. Now, instead...
Jaedong put in a bit of a tough spot, but here come the Banelings. There's not much in the way of a wall-in behind this. The Banelings actually
rallied.
Yeah, they went right past the target, but they will get in. And the first depot, both depots do die, but the Hellions are all still intact. Polt has what it takes to hold this off.
Yeah, with decent Hellion micro, he should be enough. A couple of Hellions will get trapped, though, and Polt might lose a few SCVs, but in the end, he should be able to defend this.
I'll tell you what, Polt scouted this out and reacted beautifully. An excellent job. He has more than enough Hellions to finish off any kind of follow-up. He's going to re-wall in here. He's not in the biggest of rush. The 2nd SCV does come down to do that. And I'll tell you what, with a 3rd orbital behind this, now repairing the Hellions, Jaedong is in a world of trouble. He's been on 1 gas right now. In fact, he's
going to be forced to make a lot of roaches. How else is he going to deal with Blue Flame? This is a cool opening by Polt that we've seen around for a while, and there goes the roach run immediately. Jaedong knows. He doesn't even know yet about Blue Flame. Well, he does know. How does he know? He saw it with his Zergling, I guess.
And Polt chases back the herd of Zerglings too, by the way, with this Hellion. This, I don't think it's the same Hellion, but scouting down here has done him well. He's going to load up on a lot of Blue Flame Hellions. He's taking this 3rd really aggressively, which normally would be kind of like, oh no, this is a really bad idea. But because of the way their builds have lined up, I think Polt is in more than a good enough position to do that.
Really sick scout by Polt, just showing that he's such a world-class player, that he's always worried. You know, I wouldn't necessarily expect that on Altazim, but Polt is like, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And it's really hard to find stuff on this map because it's so big. Does Polt even know where Jaedong spawned? Nope. Polt's like, drones! No, wait.
We forgot about that. Well, he saw the Overlord from the left side. I feel like he should know about it, right?
Yeah, it came kind of weird, though. It went via here, and then it showed up here, so...
Hellions will find the Zerglings. Who's going to react first?
Blue Flame is ready.
Jaedong caught with a big pocket of Zerglings out in the middle of the map, and Blue Flame's going to do some work to him. Polt's got bigger fish to fry, though. He's going to leave that spot. And we do have a lot of roaches coming out. Lair has neared completion. So Jaedong's actually...
Really, Polt?
What's that? Oh, yeah, he literally doesn't know. It's like, oh, okay, you are top left. You know what? It's fair to say, by the way, the Blue Flame Hellion should get shut down pretty hard. A lot of roaches are out at this stage.
I mean, they also arrived a solid 2 minutes later because Polt took a beautiful detour around Altazim Stronghold.
Here we go. They're going to fight some roaches out here, but they obviously don't want to be doing this. And 2.5 roaches will die for the crime of not knowing where his opponent spawned. Behind this, we have roach speed, so it's going to be some kind of roach opening. And look at this. He still finds his way to the mineral line. Nice job by Polt.
Should definitely get a couple of them. We can see drones line them up. Polt picking up quite a few of these drones. Even more than I think he could have possibly wished for after these Hellions were revealed for so long. Jaedong is going to try to replace these drones immediately, but so far this has just been a really awesome game by Polt. Maybe, you know, this Hellion actually went south, because he wasn't exactly sure where Jaedong spawned. And he's like, you know, if I send my Hellions in different directions, I'll see for sure. It's probably left top, but then he saw these banelings over here, and he's like, then he must be spawning at the right bottom. So maybe it was more of a scouting Hellion rather than I want to see if I get cheesed Hellion.
Yeah.
Regardless, it was a really good Hellion.
And just safe against the Zerglings too, in case it went crazy. I do have to say though, I like the natural transition from Polt in his build. He sees roaches, so he says, okay, well, I already have a Tech Lab factory, so I'll just kind of make a couple of tanks and maybe switch into Thors, which are just a good idea anyways, but they're especially strong against large numbers, well, not even large, just, you know, roaches in general, which seems to be what Jaedong's queuing up here. And Polt, by the way, if you're ever going roach against Terran, you want to be massively ahead in supply. You want to be 50 supply up to ever have a chance. Jaedong's down 40 supply. Polt really has this in the bag, I feel.
Yep, interesting as well. Jaedong already going up to Hive. He's also going to produce quite a few Hydras. So it's going to be a Roach Hydra style over here by Jaedong, but his economy has just been hurting for so long. Polt has gone completely uncontested. Polt really played with fire in the early game, you know, just to go back to the most important moment of this game. What he could have done after seeing these Hellions is just like, all right, send my Hellions back to the main, wait behind the wall, let him blow up his banelings, and then I'm just going to micro my Hellions in my main base, because then most of the time you're also fine as Terran, but not Polt. Polt was just like dancing around with these Hellions, taking a risk that if they get surrounded, it's just GG, you know, there's no way. The only thing that he had going for himself were those Hellions, but in the end he was able to you know, just execute everything he had in mind properly, and he didn't make any mistakes. It was very well done. Man.
His army control is a thing of beauty. Jaedong saw this drop. Now Jaedong wagered on something. He actually did not make that many units. That's why his supply was so far behind, because he was going to jump up the Hive. I'm not sure what his game plan was there. Maybe Vipers for Blinding Cloud or something, but Polt's not going to... Well, I was about to say he's not going to give him time. Yeah, I think he's going to move out here, and there are Vipers queued up. Polt's army not as scary as I thought it would be. Yep, there it is. The caboose side is large. Thors and Marines reinforcing this, and that parade push will come in effect.
There are Vipers. These roaches are being pulled out of position right now. Unfortunate timing here for Jaedong. He's going to turn around immediately, so he might be able to deal with this drop for now, but at the same time, this is a very scary army by Polt.
Yeah, Jaedong just doesn't have very much. I mean, his upgrades should finish up here, which is nice. Look at him. He's going to... I mean, if he engages here, he's just going to get smoked, but he's going to pull back. There's not much in the way of a better future. He's got a couple of Vipers out. They don't even have energy.
There's nothing that's good against all these Marines over here. Polt with overwhelming numbers, 183 supply. Jaedong is at 163, but he just doesn't really have anything that's very effective against his Marine ball.
No, Polt's giving him a chance, though, I guess, if you want to call it a chance. He went down and went after a base that could very easily get canceled. It's going to come down to this big fight.
Maybe with some really sick Blinding Clouds that forces these Marines to act very
like if
stupidly.
He had Fungal with it, maybe, but he's going to cast Blinding Cloud. The army's going to step forward and kill him anyway.
Yeah, it's like, cool.
Like, oh, no.
Actually,
I don't think he needs to retreat like that. But
I mean, we all know you're ready to be safe in the story. More Blinding Clouds going down. These Thors actually not pushing out a whole lot of damage, but these Marines with 2-2 upgrades, they will get the job done. And Polt will win game number 3 on Altazim Stronghold.
And that's a big win for Polt, because as we said going into this, Altazim was the map that a lot of Zergs would be giddy to play a Terran on. This is one of their best shots. But Polt flips, I mean, not even flips it around, he survives. I thought the cheese that Jaedong queued up was quite apt, strong. But give credit where credit's due, something you were talking about, those Hellions probably safer to come back home, but it's almost...